With the conclusion of VCT Masters Bangkok, Valorant and esports enthusiasts had an excellent opportunity to watch the best international teams compete to determine who can earn the title of best team in the world. There were upsets, overtime matches, and an unlikely winner who lifted the first international title of the year. Despite common belief that top performance guarantees victory, the recent Masters event defied this expectation. VLR.GG's R2.0 rating, a key analytical tool for competitive Valorant, provides data-driven evidence that challenges this assumption. But before we start, it is important to understand what the R2.0 rating represents in professional Valorant. In simple terms, R2.0 is a number value based on an algorithm that considers every facet of a player's performance on the server, such as kills, deaths, damage, assists, and survival. Much like the NBA player efficiency rating, a number value is given to a player based on the stats collected throughout every match, determining how well they perform throughout the tournament. For Valorant, anything above a 1.0 rating is a positive performance. Now that we have a better understanding of the R2.0 rating, let's examine the top performing players throughout the tournament. Here are the top 10 players ranked by their overall R2.0 rating, and on the right are their team's overall tournament placements in Bangkok. We tend to believe the best players always make deep runs in tournaments, but the data shows that this is not always the case. Notably, 4 high-performing players were eliminated early in the tournament, while 3 helped their teams place either 3rd or 4th. Finally, 3 players on this top 10 list managed to reach the grand finals. While individual R2.0 ratings can affect how well your team can place, it is not always guaranteed. Let's scale to a larger picture, taking the average R2.0 rating of every player on each team and placing a chart. We continue to see this trend of quote-unquote worse teams making a deeper run in the tournament. While many teams performed as expected, one striking anomaly emerged. Despite possessing the 5th highest average R2.0, the Korean team, T1, achieved victory, demonstrating that factors beyond individual or team statistics can significantly influence tournament outcomes. Here's an interesting question. These are the match statistics of the grand finals played between G2 Esports and T1 in Bangkok. Based on each player's R2.0 rating, who do you think lifted the title based on the scoreboard alone? If you chose the bottom scoreboard, you're correct. Despite T1 performing much worse statistically compared to G2 Esports, they still managed to claim the title after battling out over 5 games. But how did this happen? Why did T1 win over G2, the statistically strongest team in the tournament? What factors contributed to their win? I asked the current Valorant coach these questions.
Tournament play is like a completely different world compared to your competitive. In actual competitions, your teams are studying VODs, we're analyzing our opponents, we're adapting to strategies, we're countering, we're doing research on the enemy. And that is like a heavy part in what we're doing. A lot of these players who are getting to the top levels are receiving so much support behind the scenes to, be able to get through a high pressure match or high stakes one-on-one, stuff like that just really, again, you're not seeing. Teams behind the scenes have so much that they're contributing to with each other, like synergy and their own performance. The mental coaching is so important, and like heavy emphasis on the synergy stuff. So what VLR and these other statistics platforms aren't catching is that there is a substantial amount of support staff and also work that players are putting in behind the scenes to actually thrive.
Looking ahead towards the next few months of competitive Valorant, after the result of Masters Bangkok, teams will begin adjusting their style of play, leaning towards a more team-oriented approach instead of star power and top-heavy rosters, suggesting that future success will hinge on strategic cohesion rather than individual dominance.